Hey everyone, I'm AJ Briggs and this is set number 71841, the Dragonian Storm Village from the new Ninjago January 2025 wave. This set comes with 305 pieces, 6 minifigures and will retail for £35 and $40 in the US. Now with that information aside, let's get into the review. So here is the main build and you can instantly notice the brick built rocky carving and I presume that is going to be Thunderfang. There are 2 front teeth which you can move up and down. And then these bloodshot red eyes which can also move depending on the expression you want. So you can move them up and down. And then moving upwards, there are 2 banners, one on each side, with sticker pieces, and I'm guessing that is a better depiction of Thunderfang, who is a dragon and is going to be a set released for this March. And if we didn't get these set images for the March wave, this would really hype us up because of how cool he looks. On the next level is a bridge. Now if you've been watching Ninjago for a long time, or a lot of set reviews, you know that they are never safe. Even Jay said so himself. And that's because if I was to place a minifigure right here, and then pull out this red lever, like this, the minifigure falls down into the pit. And I'll do that again to show you guys what it looks like from behind. Okay, that time he fell out. Now most of the time when I did throw the minifigure, it used to come falling out, but I'm surprised it actually stayed inside the pit this time. So if we take a closer look at what is actually at the back, there's a skeleton which I guess resembles those that have fallen to their doom. I wish there kind of was some fangs and bones here to resemble more of that danger, but that's easily customizable. And I guess you could consider that the 7th minifigure in this set, but that's about it. And then on the final level, I guess this is the throne area where the Dragonian leader would give his command to his army. I think that spot is reserved for the Dragonian leader. I think you say his name as Tyr or Tyre. He's going to be coming in the March wave as a minifig. But there is some studs at the back which you can place minifigs on top of. And that's what it looks like placing a minifig. And then the final main thing I want to talk about is this piece right here, which is the head armor of the Dragonians, specifically the Dragonian warriors. So if you're like me and you don't prefer the Dragonian scouts because their tan hair looks kind of goofy, you can replace that with this headpiece and add an extra Dragonian warrior to your collection. And to end this final section, you've got some vines coming out from here, actually from all across the bottom. Then you have this branch coming out. This is where you can place the dragon to make it look like it's flying, and then some lanterns on each side. I almost forgot to mention this, but this is, I guess, a vine piece which the minifigs can go up and down, and it's just made out of rubber. Over on the right side, we have a weapons rack with some vines coming out and then a lantern. And then you can place up to 3 weapons on the side. They do give you 1 weapon to place there at the start while you're building. There's this piece right here which resembles some bricks. And then for the final section, we have this kind of mini cage to lock up the ninja since they are on the Dragonian's turf. There's a green leaf piece right here, and I guess these are bamboo sticks. And all you gotta do is pull these 2 down. You're going to want to take off the minifigure's weapons, since that makes it a lot easier, and then just put them inside like this. Now the ninja are trapped, having no way out, and I guess this adds to the villain aesthetic and build. So overall, I really like this set. I really like the verticality of it, and the colour scheme. The grey, black, dark red and purple makes it look sinister and menacing. But I do have one complaint about this set, and that is the name. They call it a village, which is being optimistic. I think this is more of a battle arena. Now that's a good thing and a bad thing. And I'll start off with the bad thing. Because in the show, it's going to look absolutely amazing. It's a villain build. The animation is awesome, but it's poorly translated as a village in Lego form. And it's a bit of a shame that we don't get the actual village. Now I think a good village is the Keeper's Village we got from the Island wave. That had so much detail, interior and exterior, with the cave and the island to the right, which had loads of traps and play features. But that also had twice the piece count as this. And they could have made this more expensive, added more pieces to it, and keeping the same minifigs. I think a lot of people would have still picked this up if it was $10, $20 expensive. But for what it is right now, it's not bad at all. Now I think this is more of a battle arena, and that's because of many reasons. First of all, you get a weapons rack. All battle arenas come with a weapons rack. Secondly, the ones that we got in 2011 and 2012 were based on villain factions, the Serpentine and 2 skeleton ones. This is based on the Dragonians, who are a villain faction. And then finally, you get so many spinners in this wave. 1 spinner is included in this set. It's this one right here. So it's cool that this acts as a backdrop for those spinners, and it makes it more interesting. Finally, this set is more of a minifigure pack than it is for the build. You get a couple of exclusive minifigures, most popular ones too, so I guess that is what they were focusing on, which is fine I guess. Let's take a look at the minifigures. Here are the first 2 minifigures, which are the ninja. You get Zayn and Nia in their brand new Storm outfits, who are this time fully complete. And that's because they come with their hoods and their armor piece, since in the 4 Plus set, which is the same price, it doesn't come with their hoods or their armor piece. And not coming with an armor piece is an issue for a lot of the ninja in this wave, but these two do come with them. I've got to say there are a lot of mixed opinions on these suits, but I've got to say these are one of my favorites. It's very sci-fi and futuristic like, which is one of my favorite themes for anything. So these suits for me are definitely top tier. Now starting off with their hoods. I've seen online designs have been influenced by gas masks, and I guess that does make sense because they're going to be fighting villains who use storm, so maybe they need it to fight against the storm. Zane's mask, I wish that was more white or even a different colour. It being majorly grey is kind of throwing it off for me, but Nia's is perfect. Actually, her whole suit is my favourite from the whole line. I think the colour combination is amazing. The metallic blue, azure blue, metallic gold, gunmetal grey work together really well. Zane is still definitely good, but not as good as Nia. Here is a look at the back of their hoods. And then if we take off their hoods, you can see that they use the Rising Dragon face prints. Here's the back, and you can see that they use their Rising Dragon technique face prints, so that's nothing new. Also, this is their Tournament of Sources armor piece, but this time they use it in black instead of gold, since the last wave only Jay had it in black. But that means that this armor piece in this jet black colour is more common. Taking off the armor pieces, you can get a better look at the torso and leg printing. So it looks like that they are wearing this golden chest plate underneath and then their ninja robes on top. The bottom right corners, they have their ninja symbols. Specifically for Nia, her metallic blue, you can see it kind of reflects and shines in the light. And then the same thing for Zane, golden metal chest plate. And I've got to keep saying this, these new suits are amazing. They look really futuristic. It seems that they have some power source running through them, loads of tubes going around. I guess that fits in with their gas mask. They're gonna need oxygen. And then moving on to their belts, Saint has it light blue, Nia has it in that metallic blue. And then their gloves, I really like how they use the ninjas' kind of important primary colours. It just adds a lot of pop to them and makes them stand out even more. And then the leg printing, there's a lot of leg printing on this. You've even got them on the toes. This is incredibly detailed and printed. There's so much going on, but it ties in together really nicely. Now taking a look at their back torso prints, and you can see it's incredibly detailed despite us not seeing it that often with the armor pieces, or at least this wave we will see them since most of them don't come with the armor piece. The chest plate or whatever armor they have on carries onto the back. And then you have something interesting, the corresponding Source Dragon symbols, but on the left half it's the normal symbol, and then on the right half it seems to be fading away. But yeah, nice to see that they are carrying on this symbol and this kind of design for the back torso from the last wave's minifigs. But that's it for these two minifigures. Next up we have both of the villains from the Dragonian villain faction, the Dragonian Warrior and then the Dragonian Scout. The detailing on these guys are awesome, and then the armor pieces that they come with are phenomenal. This version of the Dragonians is clearly more dripped out. He comes with a whole package. Starting off with the headpieces, the Scouts come with a tan mohawk. Here is a better look at that, whereas the Dragonian Warriors come with this dragon headpiece. And that is obviously a lot cooler. And they have these two fangs coming out, which you have to put in yourself. And if you want to remove it, so simply just take that off. Now the armor pieces are identical. For this guy, you can put on the dragons that the sets come with. And although the Scouts come with the same armor piece, you can't put the dragons on their back. And that's because of their mohawk, which comes in the way. Now with the armor aside, we can get a better look at their face prints. Now they do have different face prints. The one on the right seems to have a closed mouth with his teeth growing out of his face. And then the one on the left seems to be grinning or having an angry expression. And then another difference is the tan bushy eyebrows and then the fur on his face. He's got some tan fur, but they both also have fur, which is really cool. They have fur throughout the whole design and the whole body, and you can see that a lot more clearly on here. So for the Scouts, they don't have any secondary face print, whereas these guys do. Now that could be the back of his hair, or I'm guessing that is a fireball. So when you put on his armor, it's going to look like that the dragon is shooting out a fireball. And that's what that looks like. Now I do want to quickly mention that these guys are confirmed to be from the first realm, the realm of the Oni and the Dragon. And what's interesting is that their name or their villain faction has Dragon and Oni in the same name. But that's enough of these guys. Now let's take a look at what is probably the two most popular minifigs of this whole wave. And that is Rogue and Morrow. This guy first appeared in 2015 and now he's making a return 10 years later. I also do want to say that he appeared in season 5, and if you count the Dragons Rising parts individually, it's Dragons Rising part 5. So that's an interesting little fact. These two guys are definitely the most popular minifigures of this whole wave. Everybody wants them. It's a reason why I had to delay this video. This set ran out so fast on release day. It took them around a week to restock and give out deliveries. And these two guys are simply the reason why. Taking a look at Rogue first, you can see that he's got this brand new hat piece. If I lift him up, he is not bald. I'm sure he's not going to be bald in the show. And the reason why they didn't add his hair was probably because they want to use this piece for different sets, different minifigures, instead of making it exclusive to Jay. Since this is going to be his one-time use, you can't even see his eyes. I have to lift him up this much to see his eyes. This guy is having such an identity crisis, but each identity he chooses is absolutely amazing. Removing the weapons and the face mask reveals his brand new face print, and this one is amazing. Jay's face prints matching his personality is always either smiling, smirking, or just being angry, but this one makes him look super serious, so that's great to get. He doesn't have a second face print, but I know a lot of people are going to be really happy to get this face print. And it's such a cheap way to get it too. He uses the Tournament of Sources armor piece in gold. And the funny thing about that was, he was the only one from the previous wave to use it in black, whereas all the ninja used it in gold. And now this time he's the only one to wear it in gold, and everybody else is wearing it in black. He's got two different colored arms. It looks like he's wearing two different things, maybe an undershirt and then a robe on top. He's got these two symbols in Ninjagon on the right side of his chest. One is J for his name, J, and then R, which stands for Rogue. And then he's got these lightning bolts kind of looking design to represent his elemental powers, and that is quite reflective in the light. He does have toe printing, and that's worth mentioning because Moro doesn't. Now let's take a look at Moro. I can't still get over the fact that we're talking about Moro in 2025. This is his design. I think his hairpiece is still the same, but let's get rid of his armor piece, which isn't all that too special. And here is his brand new face print. They didn't use the 2015 ones, and back then it was this translucent green color, but I think they don't produce that color anymore, or at least for the heads. There was something like that. The arm does use it, so I think I'm wrong about that. But I think I prefer this over the 2015 head, and that's because you can see his face a lot more clearer now. He still has the dark green eyeshadow. Now you can see he's got some cheekbones, which means he's grown older, but I guess he's retired being the Master of Wind and now the Master of Mewing, which would make sense, him spending 10 years, and he's definitely got the cheekbones. It worked out for him. Now if I turn him around, he's got an alternate face print. This time he looks a lot more angry, and I like how what they did with his eyes. He doesn't have the pupils. Makes him look more of a villain or a scary guy. But in the show, I don't think he is going to be a villain. He was redeemed in Season 5 and Day of the Departed. But yeah, that's the face print. Moving on to the torso, you can see he looks very ghost-like. It's very reminiscent of his Season 5 design. It uses so many different green colours. You've got a translucent green, sand green, darker green, the lighter green for his belt, and then another green for his scarf. So lots of green. I think he really wants to be the green ninja. And he's also got the dragon symbol, which is similar to his 2015 one. His right arm is a transparent green, which is cool. It gives him the ghost aesthetic. And then turning him around, he's got some more back printing. And I think those are some letters in Ninjagon. I did not search those up. Maybe it means Moro. I think that is Moro, and that's because the two middle letters are the same. So those could be the R, because there's two R's in Moro. And then the bottom and the top right are identical, so that could be the two O's, and then M is the first letter. So yeah, I think that I am pretty confident that that is Ninjagon for Moro. That's Moro and Rogue for you guys. Moro is definitely on par with the 2015 Moro. He is just as good. I think that one goes for really expensive on the aftermarket, but if you're wanting to get him for really cheap, or at least within a set that you get lots of other minifigures and a build, definitely go for this version. He's definitely worth your money. Even if you have the 2015 Moros, still go for him. I don't have the 2015 one yet. I'm really happy that I have at least one Moro in my collection. There are a couple of things I forgot to mention about these minifigures. Rogue, of course, is exclusive to this set. Now Zane, he does come in the 4+ Spinjitzu Temple set, which is the same price, but without the hood and the armor piece. Now the hood is the main issue, since if you're going to put all the minifigures together, he's going to look incomplete. So this is the way to go if you want the complete Zane. He is also the main focus of this set. Then Nia, she also comes in the 4+ set, but again without the armor piece and the hood. However, she isn't exclusive. She comes in Kai's Mech Storm Rider, which is slightly expensive and doesn't come with the armor piece, But yeah, this is the cheapest way to get her fully complete. And then of course, Moro is exclusive to this set too. This right here is a spinner that is included with the set. And this is a first because it's intended to put 2 minifigures on top. So I've put Nia and Jay on top, round 2 I guess. And all you gotta do is spin it. Now that is pretty difficult. When you put 2 minifigures on, or probably even one, it's really hard to spin it. I mean, that's about as fast as you can go. So I'm gonna try it like this. And it's nowhere near as fast as it can go. And if you try and use the minifigure's head, it's still not as good. They'll definitely fall off. But if I take off the minifigures, this is how it goes. Okay, definitely not like that. You can see how much faster that works. And I really like the design on it. It looks like there's a storm going around it with the new blade pieces. And speaking of the blade pieces, those are brand new. Kai gets one for his Mech Storm Rider in another set in this wave, which is in red, but I prefer these more. I think they were intended to be specifically used for this purpose. It also looks like the storm that's used on the lining of the box art, but yeah, when it's in action, it looks really cool. And then finally, I want to take a look at some of the extra things that you get in this wave. You get this dragon right here, which is the same one as the one that's on the Dragonian warrior's back. And then you have the new collectible of this wave, which is, I believe, called the Prisma Blade or Prismatic Blade. But what this basically is, the Forbidden Five are trying to collect it to release Thunderfang, who, like I mentioned before, is a dragon, probably their master that they are going to try and release. So it is just a standard katana, which was disappointing at first. But if you take a closer look at it, you can see why it gets the Prisma name. It's really sparkly and shiny, and I think you might just be able to see the shiny and glittery elements inside. Now in real life, it has this brown, sometimes blue, sometimes purple color to it. That's where it gets its name from. So that makes this boring, plain, simple looking katana much more desirable. So that's my review on this set, and I've got to say, this is one of the best, strongest sets of this whole wave. It's got a lot of positives and little negatives. The only issue I have is that it's considered a village. So while I do wish that it was on a village scale, it's countered by the exclusive amazing minifigures that we get, and it is a minifigure pack. And for what it is, it's pretty cool. It's a villain location build, so that's a positive. And for the price, this is an absolute steal. Definitely you cannot miss out on this. But with that being said, that's my review on this. Let me know your guys' opinions and thoughts below in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.